everyone, and welcome to
Technology
another
is
episode
amazing.
of the You Want It, You Got It podcast. Eric,
What's up, buddy?
who do we have today?
We got Joseph from Her Head's on Fire, and
Whoa.
stoked for this conversation
Aloha.
this evening. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
I hope.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, man. This is I love these things. I love talking to people and knowing that we're all on the same page about music. It's just a hoot.
Fuck yeah, it is, man.
100%. 100%.
I like talking to people about music. I like listening to people's music, and I think today we're going to do a little bit of both. We're going to talk about you, talk about what we
Cool.
like, whatever. Um,
Mhm.
Joseph, were you a skateboarder growing up?
No, I was
No.
I my first round of bruises falling off the skateboard. I was like, I'm gonna go hang out and change the cassettes. You guys skate. So I was like DJ, but I
Nice.
did not have the adventurous streak in me. I was like, oh, that sucks. I'm out.
Well, all right. So no BMX or anything like that.
No.
No.
No,
I just know
I was
because
not
like
a particularly active kid.
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be. I mean, I did some sports. I did some I did soccer and we did track and whatnot, in high school. But yeah, I never really the skating. I always loved it. I loved watching it. Loved hanging out with a lot of like everybody I knew skated, but it's just never my thing.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know. For me, growing up with finding skateboarding, it's different for everybody else, but that's how I found a lot of different bands was through skateboarding. And
Hmm.
when I was a kid, everybody's always like, "Oh, I have an older brother." I have an older brother. I never had the older brother, so I'm just listening to either whatever's on the radio, whatever
Hmm.
my parents are listening to, so I'm like just stuck in this small little world. And then I go to middle school and that's all she writes because
Oh yeah.
I'm introduced to everything. So what was some of the stuff that you were early influenced by or introduced to?
I was really fortunate in Worcester. There was this place called the Worcester Artist Group, which we all called WAG for short, right? And I must have been in the ninth grade or 10th grade. So this would have been like 89. And I had a couple very, very cool friends, Ed McNamara and Todd Droege in Shrewsbury, which is the suburb of Worcester I grew up in. And they were like, hey man, every night, Wednesday's open mic night. We're going to go see shows. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then there would be on the weekends, there would be rock shows. It was an art gallery, so it was like sort of out there art, these people putting together art, but it also had evenings where there would be a hardcore band, a metal band, a hippie jam band, a new wave band. It'd just be a spoken word performance. And so I was introduced to all this stuff at a young age, and it blew my mind. Before that, I had just kind of like I'd gotten into, the same thing with you. It's like you grow up listening to whatever's on the radio, which
Mm-hmm.
at the time for me was like hair metal. It's like Def Leppard and Bon Jovi and that kind of stuff,
Oh
right?
yeah.
And then I discovered REM and The Cure,
Mm-hmm.
and not long after that first Jane's Addiction record, and Pixies and Depeche Mode, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, like this is my thing. And so like postmodern or before it was alternative rock, and then but then the introduction of the WAG got me into underground music and realizing that I could be a part of a community, that of people that were outcasts as well, that did not feel comfortable in the sort of John Hughes style high school situation that I was in.
I mean, being in a John Hughes style high school, I mean, that'd be kind of rad. I'd like to have that,
Yeah, it depends on what circle you're in, though, man.
Yeah, that's
Are
right.
you
Yeah.
are you
All right.
hanging out with John Bender, or are you hanging
Probably.
out
Yeah.
with Farmer Ted, from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
16 Candles? So,
All right. Yeah.
yeah.
You heard the rumors going around about that movie. Not rumors, but myths behind it. How there was never anybody in the detention. It was just uh, what's her name? Ali Sheedy's character. What's her name?
Hmm.
The yeah. It was. They were saying it was just her, and it was all her multiple personalities that were in that room
What?
with her, and she was just in the
Oh
room by
man.
herself. Because like if you think about it, they didn't get in trouble for smoking weed in the library. No one heard the door break in the detention center. It's like all these things, you know. But then they say the same thing about Christopher Robin. They say Christopher Robin, all those his like Eeyore and stuff, those are all his personalities, and those are just his imaginary friends. So who
That's more
knows?
likely. You know, the
Yeah,
thing with it, that's just basically trying to make up for bad editing. You know what I mean? Like the
yeah,
John Hughes movie just simply wasn't edited well. So
yeah.
they
Yeah.
You're
probably
right.
just cut the scene where there was a door slam or the pot smoking scene. And they're like, oh, you know what it was? It was this grand scheme. Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one movie that I could probably quote and annoy everybody with if I watched it with them
Yeah.
because like when I lived in Germany, I had one channel. So we did a
Mhm.
lot of dubbing VHS tapes and trading VHS tapes in the
Oh
80s
yeah.
and so I would watch The Breakfast Club all the fucking time.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's a classic though, you know.
yeah, for sure, one
I
hundred
was like
percent, man.
that with The Lost Boys
Ooh,
and Red Dawn.
Fuck yeah,
really?
dude.
Red
Original
Dot.
Red Dawn. I
Yeah,
swear I've seen it 100 times in my youth.
dude. I don't
You know?
think the original Red Dawn gets as much credit from all of us, you know,
No.
like as it should, man, because that was such a fucking solid movie, man. I remember like
It
I
is a
was probably
brutal movie.
yeah, I was probably like either in the third or fourth grade when that came out, and yeah, I was
Mhm.
over in Germany thanks to the U.S. Army and my dad being stationed over there. But yeah, dude, me and my friends, we would watch that, and then we would go outside and get our fake guns, and we would play Red Dawn.
Mhm.
But yeah, dude, that's such a solid movie. I need to go back and watch that one again for sure.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I mean, we're all this similar, close enough in age that
yeah.
was, you remember growing up under the threat of Cold War
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
idea of nuclear war. And so like that, you the beginning of that movie and you read like, holy shit, that's actually plausible. And
right.
like, and your little mind and seeing like bullets flying in high schools, you're like, oh my God. It was so terrifying.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, incredible movie. Um,
Um
although partially funded by the U.S. Army for recruitment.
real really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same like I think
So
Top Gun got money from the government too.
man, I saw with the recent Top Gun movie had come out and how much money they spend on those fighter pilots to fly those planes and how much they
Hmm.
to do those jets like they pay like thousands and thousands of dollars like hundreds of $1,000s for an hour to rent these planes out. So I'm
Oh,
like,
Wow.
man,
geez.
so when they say their budget was like 25 million or 50 million,
Hmm.
most of that was probably rental of the army or the military equipment.
Yeah, that's they burn through money so quick on film sets. It's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I just learned recently that the budget of the movie, like I understood what it meant, but I also didn't realize it meant catering. It meant
Hmm.
every little thing that goes in is a budget. I'm like, wow. Not to mention how many millions of dollars each actor got, or whatever. So I'm like, damn, that's insane. But and
Well, there's also
marketing, promotion.
the pace on them is glacial. I mean, like so if you have like 100 people on a shoot. I've been around some shoots in
Okay.
LA like for like old bands and videos and whatnot. There's a strong union, right? And that's good. You want a strong union. But what would happen would be like, oh, there's a cable in the shot. Can we get the cable? Oh, we have to call the electrician. Like anybody, if you were working, you just move
Yeah.
cables, no big deal. But you have to call the electrician, and he's on his break. So everybody sits around for 20 minutes until the electrician comes in and picks up the cable and moves it 3 feet, and then they go back to the shot. And it's like everything's like that. So
Oh
everything's just
wow.
like it's molasses. So yeah, you're like you get to the end of your day and you've got like, wow, after 8 hours we got 6, maybe 7 seconds worth of good film. So
Yeah.
ugh, I couldn't do that. That's for different people than the way I work.
Yeah, I would I know Nashville right now, they're filming the spin-off of 911 to 911 Nashville edition of that show. And man,
Hmm.
you see there's camera crews and trucks all over Nashville. Nashville's already a wreck as it
Hmm.
is with traffic, but to have all
Yeah.
this like production teams and shit. Cause I mean, I know how it was, going through San Francisco as a kid, you'd see streets blocked off and for days with them filming certain scenes and stuff. Um, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna make myself be on that 911 Nashville. I'm gonna be an extra. I'm gonna be an extra. I'm gonna be
Do it.
somebody, ma.
I don't miss that shit at all, man. I do
No.
not miss living in that city.
So Joseph, tell us a little background about
Yes.
your about you and let's just do a little like short background and then your first band you were played in.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So anyways, saw the WAG, started going to shows, in the late 80s, early 90s. Saw a
Okay.
lot of cool, neat music, bands, a lot of like the sort of the beginning, the grunge thing. So I saw a lot, Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins on
Yeah.
Gish, the first Lollapalooza, Jane's Addiction several times, Nine Inch Nails on like Pretty Hate Machine, like all,
Fuck yeah.
and foundational to me. Fugazi, as well. And so looking at your shirt. Um, and then I started playing music in like college bands, and so like I guess 92, 93 was my first band. We didn't really play other than some local shows at my college. We didn't do much. But then my second band was called Stricken for Catherine, and that was very like prog emo metal. Like we
Okay.
really loved Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, and we really loved Slint and Rodan, Rusty. And so we were trying to kind of like put that Louisville sound into that sort of like even cool, smooth time signature sound. It was a thing. It was fun, but we were learning a lot. And then I formed a band called Garrison with my friend Ed, and Garrison was the first band that anyone outside of New England would have heard because we were on Revelation Records,
Okay.
Oh, fuck
out
yeah.
of Los Angeles or Huntington Beach, and so that band was around for about 5 years, like toured the States a lot, toured Europe a lot. Then I joined my friend's band Artie Shepherd, who was on they were on Geffen Records, and so it was Artie and Adam from Aerotype 11 and Tom Capone from Quicksand, and I
Okay.
joined
Nice.
that band, and so we were on Geffen, and we did a bunch of tours with like Korn and Linkin Park and Snoop Dogg and that whole thing. Um, and then I also had a band called Gay for Johnny Depp, which was just sort of satire on the like spazzy noise rock stuff.
Yeah.
And a band called I Hate Our Freedom, and then I stopped touring in 2012 to slow down and then eventually raise a family. I've got twins that are 10 now,
Oh wow.
and
Oh,
around
wow.
around 2020 around 2017 I started playing music again a little bit. 2018, and now I'm in a band called Her Head's on Fire with some friends from Chicago.
That's a rad name. I was like when I like for me personally, there's a
Hmm.
band. There is a band that I slept on
Hmm.
because of, and yes, I'm gonna say it, but it's because of the name. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I can't even think of the fucking name now. Hold on, it's over. Is it not over her dead body? Over. Can't think of the name right now. Anyway, but the name was like, oh, I'm not gonna like that because the logo was kind of like different, and I was like, I'm not into this like
Hmm.
death metal or whatever. And then I go back and listen to it, and it's like fucking emo as shit, and I'm like, this music is great. Like, why did I sleep on this
Hmm.
band for so long? But
Hmm.
your name, and I was like, oh, and then I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, this is great, because it's just
Cool.
the name. What's the reference from the name?
It's a quote from a Dag Nasty song,
Oh,
and it's
Ah,
fuck
also a
yeah.
quote from a Cure song. So it's like the guitarist came up with that name, and I was the same way. I heard it, and instantly I was like, "Yep, that's the band name."
yeah.
It wasn't like there was no deliberation after that. It was just like that's a great band name. Cool.
Yeah, that's
So,
rad. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
um,
Fucking Dag
I
Nasty. That's fucking
Dag
what a
Nation's a
great
great
Hmm.
band.
band. Is what are they
For
called
sure.
now? What are they called now? There's another version of Dag Nasty's going around. They're called what's what's the project called that's going around
I
as
don't know.
Dag
My
Nasty?
my guitar player would know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I think it's whatever the
Yeah.
name
I
of the
don't
first
know.
album is or second album was called or whatever.
Okay.
But so I'm gonna
Okay.
ask this: like listening to some of this stuff, are you influenced a lot by one Billy Corgan?
Oh, that you think it sounds like Billy Corgan?
I think some of the stuff sounds like Billy Corgan. Your voice.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Thank you. I like his earlier stuff. Like I like
Mhm.
Gish and Siamese Dream a lot. The later stuff, he started when he's really nasally. He's like, "Nyeh." I didn't like that as much. Um, but I do like his lower register quite a bit. So yeah, I would say he's not a conscious
Gotcha.
influence, but I can see where you would say that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to the record
But I'm not like I
today.
do know people that just like are like gaga about that band.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm sort of gaga, but not like I'm not going to lose any sleep over them. But yeah.
Yeah, I threw the name as far as like a reference or like maybe, somebody that you guys were into. Um I heard a lot of Doughboys in Her Head's on Fire.
I would
And I
say I would say the Doughboys more on the yeah. There's a lot of replacements. Husker Du,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
um, Doughboys, Dinosaur Jr. Um, yeah, I think it's this is an interesting band because I don't write the music.
Oh,
The guitar player Jeff Dean writes the songs from start to finish as far as like chord structures, and then he'll get together with the drummer, and then I get that with no roadmap at all. Just like here's a bunch of sound for like 3.5 minutes, and then I have to piece together a song from what I hear. So we don't agree on like what the chorus is sometimes or what the verse is. And then when I finish that, it goes to the bass player and he adds his parts last.
Okay.
So it's very screwy, but that's kind of what we've done at least for most of the last three records. Yeah. We have a third
Yeah.
2026.
now is that new record is that single that you released for the compilation that you have coming out? And when's that compilation coming out?
I think it's
The
coming
seven-way
out like
split.
it should be out right before Fest, like mid to late October.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
On Sell
Um,
the Heart, yeah.
yeah. So that the single that you dropped now, I just said, I mean, is that going to be you said on the new album? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that
Nope,
part.
no, that's exclusive to that.
Okay,
The new
okay,
album, yeah, that's a whole different recording session. That song was left over from the recording session for the second album called Strange Desires.
okay.
That was just one of the songs we recorded.
Yeah,
It didn't go
I
on the
like that
album.
new jam. I
Thanks, man.
every yeah, it's that whole sound, the whole 7 inch. Well, I guess not a 7 inch. It's 7 songs on a 12 inch vinyl on one side, but everything
Hmm.
that's come out so far from that is really good. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it.
It's cool, man. It's like-minded. You know how it's hard as we get older and we get more spread out to have that sense of community with other people because life just gets in the way. But I kind of feel like all the bands on this compilation, even though we might know each other peripherally, um, if we all lived in the same town, we would all hang out together. You know,
Oh yeah,
and so it's so nice to hear the music and Bill. Like it makes sense that all the bands like we're just like, oh yeah, I would totally see you guys play at the same time, or like, and I really like that, and I love what Andy's doing with Sell the Heart. And so, we had this song, and I got in touch with him about, maybe doing a split 7 inch or something with another band. And he goes, "I have an idea. What about a 7-way split on a 12 inch?" I was like, "That sounds fucking cool as hell." Yeah, it's a compilation basically. And then we
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
went through and picked bands that we, between the two of us, were like, "Oh, what about those guys? Oh yeah, okay, they can't do it. Okay, what about these guys?" And then, we found, 6 other bands that made sense on the thing. So it's nice.
How long have you been working with Andy?
Um, this is the first project I've done with him, but we've known each other um, a couple years easy, at least maybe 2, 3 years. Um, the world of independent record labels that do sort of punk rock inspired stuff is really pretty small, and I'm part of a record label called Iodine, um, and Iodine is my friend Casey, and I help him out with that on occasion. And so Iodine and Sell the Heart are kind of in the same. We're, all our bands show up at the same festivals and are on the same bills, so we all kind of like, I'm like, oh yeah, Andy from Sell the Heart, and I'm like, I know you, I know the work you do, blah blah blah. And so we met that way. We're
Yeah,
work buddies.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've noticed he's done so much over the past 15 years now, and I'm just looking back of like
Oh my
this,
God.
he's doing such a rad thing for everybody. It's like I'm looking at some of the compilations he had put out. The
Hmm.
and Out Comes the Lawsuits, which was the Rancid cover. Then he did the Op
Hmm.
IV cover. And
Hmm.
then just to see all the bands that he's worked with, man, it's just really cool. He's doing a good job. I'm gonna get him on here soon as well. He was supposed. We are gonna try
Excellent.
to work it out last week, but it just didn't work out for both of us. But it's gonna happen, I tell you.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's just like, same thing. It's like you're talk to him for 2 minutes and you're like, yeah, how are we not pals? It's like
Yeah, for sure.
he's a great guy. And yeah, tireless as far as not only making his own music with Tsunami Bomb, but just playing shows and promoting shows and making records and putting out records and the whole thing. It's a lot of work, and it's a labor of love because there ain't no money in this game,
Right.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
I have noticed though, like in the, even I mean, it's just a scene, but in the hardcore world, there's all these different little indie hardcore labels and whatnot, and I've noticed that in the, still and like just in general, there are so many small indie labels out there now. They're just trying to help
Hmm.
somebody, like you said, there's no money in it, but it's cool to see people supporting each other and putting records out. It's like, um, for instance, like in Canada, you got Thousand Island Records, and
Hmm.
uh, you got High End Denim Records, and then in the States, you got um, Punkerton, which is doing really well for they're doing big things for these helping these bands out. It's cool to see all that. Um, what where do you so the band itself,
Hmm.
Her Head's on Fire. Like you guys, is this like a? I see you guys are going on tour, but is this like a bigger thing? Like you guys want to do this? Is it for fun, or I mean, obviously it is for fun, but is it like
Yeah.
a hobby? Is it a hobby?
Yeah. I mean, it's never going to be what it was back in the day where I'd be on the
For
road for like
sure.
10 months out of a year,
Hmm.
just because life is different. But we'll tour like, 2, 3 weeks a year, you know, um, and I feel really lucky to do that. And obviously, if like an opportunity falls in your lap, you're like, oh, we get to play a string of shows with that band, we'll figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's nice to be. I feel incredibly fortunate to still be part of the conversation, to still be making music, um, helping make music with the record label, playing shows. You know, I I I get jazzed by making music, on my own with friends, but it's a whole different vibe to have it out on vinyl and to be
Yeah.
able to perform in different cities. I never really wanted to be in a local band. No disrespect to local bands. I love them and they're the backbone of the music we all grew up with. But I always wanted to travel with music. And, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to go to the UK and that for whatever reason that people in the UK kind of dig the stuff I've done.
Mhm.
And, I could get to go back there because I'm a bit of an Anglophile myself and I get to see some old pals that are all still involved in this stuff too, and that's really very that gives me like a global sense of community. I like that I didn't lose that people didn't forget what was important when we were younger, and what that sense of community, that sense of love, that sense of being there for other people and just being like, yeah, you need me, I'm there. What is it? That's those are people you can count on in life, and that's rare and wonderful.
Where where um where are you playing at exactly? Are you going to UK? Or are you doing just all? Are you doing Europe and well, or just
No,
UK?
no, this one's just UK. It'll be, I think it's
Okay.
10 shows in the UK, so it'll be like
Wow.
London, Brighton, I think if I can remember this correctly. No, no, London, Birmingham, Stockton, Leeds, Bristol. No, Bristol. Yes, Bristol, Nottingham, close to Cardiff, but not Cardiff, Newport, and Kingston, which is South London and Southampton. So there you go.
Have you ever been to England? before?
Oh, several times. Yeah, yeah. I bet
Yeah.
I've toured there. I don't know. At this point, I don't know, 15 times or so.
That's
Okay.
rad, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, do you ever go to England?
Yeah, we got to go twice. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
we did. Like we did the whole like Europe and then caught a ferry and went over to
In
the
Dover
UK. Yeah, yeah.
or like Calais.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. I've never gone.
Yeah,
I've been to
yeah.
the airport there. That's about it.
No, no. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy yesterday. And yeah, like one of my favorite shows that we did in the UK, it was on our first European tour. And we show up at this, I can't even remember the name of the town. I'm pretty sure I have the tour poster stashed away somewhere, but we show up at the venue and fucking Dead to Me's there. And they've already unloaded and about to do a sound check. And we had no idea that we were playing with Dead to Me that night. And yeah, it ended up being Blacklist Royals and Dead to Me. And yeah, it was a fucking great show. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. That was a great tour.
Those experiences are so seminal to, I think, who you become as a person. And I that's great. Like I like those. You know how it is too. It's like tour. Like one day feels like a week, and 1 week feels like a month. And so I always felt like being on tour a lot was like just, or traveling in general, but like it was just like cheating at dying. You're just
Yeah.
stretching out time, and stretch out
Yeah.
time as long as you can.
Yeah. Living out of a suitcase,
Hmm.
never really unpacking it, just, going to
Yeah,
the
exactly.
trailer, grabbing a dry shirt, after you
Hmm.
play and
And
change into
every
it.
night's a new town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a new experience and a new set of people and a new
Yeah.
sort of a
Yeah.
mental roadmap. You gotta be like, okay, where's the venue? Where's this place? Where are we gonna go eat tonight? Like you're figuring
Yeah.
it all out, and that's a very like a fun skill set to hone.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Talk about touring and whatnot. It's so much easier nowadays, obviously, to fucking go on tour and hit the roads because back in the day you'd have to print up all your directions or buy a map before you left the house. And
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully
Mhm.
those pages, those
But
directions don't
back
get
in the day,
dropped.
a gallon of gas was $1.
For sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, never
So
again. Are you right?
Yeah. 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 100%.
So when do you guys go into England?
September first show is September 19th.
Nice.
In Stockton. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We're playing with some buddies over there from Birmingham called Back Teeth, and they're like a really kind of they describe themselves as like gruff punk, like that sort of like kind of like hot water music vocal
Nice.
tone, but it's heavy guitar rock. And we played a few shows with them last time because we went on tour to the UK last year. And they're just lovely folks. So that'll be a good time too.
Oh yeah. And then when you guys have any plans to tour the US?
Not right now. We might do some shows. We'll play Chicago, Detroit maybe in December, but that's still coming together. I don't know. I mean, I can tour the coasts. Um, I don't know at this point in my life, barring like the opportunity of a lifetime, if I want to get in a van and go through Ohio again. No offense to Ohio, but I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delaware on a Wednesday. Woo!
There's only so many years left in my life. You know what I mean? And I can choose to spend them in Ohio, or I can choose to maybe try to go other places.
Yeah.
Are you guys playing Fest this year?
We are not. We did it last 3 years. We're taking a
Okay.
break this year, but Jeff Dean, the guitar player, and I are playing in a cover band with Andy, and from Sell the Heart Records, and Will from Next Scars. We have a cover band doing Seaweed, so we're gonna play a set of Seaweed songs and thrash around. It'll be fun.
That'd be rad. Yeah, I saw
Cool.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that being posted up around that you guys are all doing that. That sounds pretty cool.
Mhm.
That whole show though is a bunch of people doing cover sets, correct? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
There's some
does that
good
every
ones
now.
on
I don't
there.
know when I'm late to Fest. I've only been doing it, 4 years now. But the Jeff Dean, our guitar player who I mentioned before, I think he's on like number 18 or 19, and they've just he remembers when it's just a handful of shows, and now it's a pretty big thing, and they just kind of keep it interesting, and they incorporate comedy, and they incorporate wrestling, um, and they incorporate cover bands. They're like, yeah, come up with a cool cover band. And one of
Yeah,
the bands
yeah.
last year did Refused, like that's fun as hell,
Oh, that would be totally rad.
you
Fuck
know.
yeah. Well, I will be there this year, so I will see you there, man. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. We'll make sure we're on the same bingo card. We'll run into a bunch of the same bands at the same time. It'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm so stoked to see Banner Pilot again. It's been a minute. And
Hmm.
yeah, to see those guys Friday night, it's gonna be fucking sick. So
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's such a that's a cool time, man. And you just look around
yeah,
and you're just like, there's just so much great stuff going on. The only
yeah,
frustrating thing is to some same time you're like, I can't be there at the same time. But that said, uh, I see more music in that weekend than I probably see the whole span of the year these days. Because I'm in my
yeah,
own world with being a dad.
yeah. Well, that's like one great thing about Fest is I was fortunate enough when I was in Blacklist Royals, the first fest that we did, I think, was Fest 7.
Awesome.
And I was in that band and we played, I think my last fest that I played with, being a regular member, because we ended up doing a reunion show, but I think we did like Fest 7 through like maybe Fest 11. And
Hmm.
what was great about that whole Gainesville like weekend is that there were so many people from the UK or from
Hmm.
Germany coming to Gainesville that weekend. And then when we went over to like when we got to tour, Germany and the UK, we were seeing a lot of people that, they were coming to the shows that we were playing in their hometown, as opposed to them
Hmm.
coming to see us in Gainesville. So yeah, the fest will always hold like a special place in my heart. I mean, it's such a great fucking show. Tony's
Yeah.
by far like one of the coolest fucking dudes you could ever meet. And,
Hmm.
he never forgets a face, he might forget your name, but he'll never forget your face. And yeah,
Hmm.
he's such a fucking stand up dude. I can't wait to see him. So
No, that's
yeah.
great, man. It'll be a good time.
I've never been, but maybe one year I will make it down. So I'll
Yeah,
plan
dude.
on next year.
You got to make it happen, man. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I could still
It's worth it.
technically make it happen this year if I play my cards right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
It
put it
didn't.
this way, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not really good at playing cards, but I can try. So, um, when you guys were, recording and whatnot, where do you all record at? Do you guys do it
Um,
yourself?
yeah, we record ourselves, but then we work with somebody else to mix usually.
Mhm.
So uh, if we're recording Jeff, the guitar player, is an engineer, and we record in Chicago, um, sometimes I think, I mean, he could mix it and do a very capable job, but sometimes I think, what an insult! I said capable job. You do a fantastic job. I don't mean to say you do a capable job. You do a fantastic job, but I think sometimes it's good to be. Sometimes you're just too close. You need a separate set of ears on it if you have the ability to. If you can work with somebody that you trust and be like, I need somebody that's impartial because I'm in the middle of this. I know all the little ins and outs, and I'm hearing things that you may not hear, and I need somebody to just and be like, that's how it should sound, and go, yeah, that's exactly it. Thank you. You know, and I think that's we're really lucky. We worked with some cool people. Um, the last record was a guy named John Agnello, who he did a lot of he did almost all the Dinosaur Jr. records.
Oh fuck yeah!
He did some cool Sonic Youth records. He did Horse Girl, um, Turbo Negro. He worked on Cyndi Lauper's huge hit record. That was like one of his first gigs as an engineer.
Oh,
Um,
geez. That's
Fuck
fucking
Just
yeah!
rad.
unusual back in '86, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's a cool cat. And then this new one was done by a guy named Jack Shirley, who immensely talented, and I just met him through the process of talking about mixing, and he just instantly, I'm like, oh, you understand, like we have the same vocabulary, you know what we're going for. So that was really fun.
Nice,
You
nice.
said Jeff Dean. Is that the same Jeff Dean from Heavy Seas?
Heavy Seas, yes it is.
Okay, all right.
Jeff
I
Dean's in more bands than you can shake a stick at.
that band's great as well. Really like that band. I was supposed to get him on here a little while ago. Oh, Eric.
Oh,
No.
is
Nope, there he
it?
is. He's back. He's good.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I thought it was me.
Yeah.
Nah. Joseph disappeared on us before. He was a ghost for a second.
It's
That's
like,
all
screw
right.
you guys, I'm out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
peace.
I'm a ghost. I'm not here, man. Time is relative.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason when I asked you to, when we hooked up, the reason why I said I thought you were on the West Coast for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. That's why I was
No,
like,
no.
yeah. Well, this makes it even better. Um,
Yeah, New York.
yeah. Two New Yorkers and this guy in Tennessee, huh? Hey
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. In the armpit of the South, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
It's all
I
right.
grew
I've
up there.
never
I
I've
can
been to
talk mad
Clarksville.
shit about Clarksville.
Yeah, you're allowed. You're allowed.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
That's
yep.
how it
I'm
works.
allowed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And so touring and whatnot in Europe, man. What's one of your favorite thing besides the scenery over there? What do you like about Europe or
I love
UK?
the fact that there's not a drinking age, so there isn't a separation between kid shows and adult shows. So
Oh
so
yeah,
you can
true.
be, you could be 16 and be at a show, and there could be someone that's 35 at that show, and it's not weird, you know,
For
and people
sure.
can appreciate music because they love music, and it's not so restricted to age groups. That I really like that. Uh, I have some socialist tendencies. I like to see some good democratic socialism in action as part of Europe that I like. Um, I I like art and I like things that are old. There's a lot of old
Yeah.
things there, you
Yep.
know. So that's
Yeah.
fun.
That's one thing I missed about living in Germany and just the architect over there. It's just so rad. Or you could be driving down the highway and look up and you can literally see castles still on the hill. It's
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
if that was here, that castle would be a dollar store or something, like a Dollar
Yeah.
General.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
A Cracker Barrel.
yeah. But
Bucky's.
I will say,
Mm. Whip
I
Cracker
will say
Barrel.
one thing one thing about Europe I like, it's like Europe was built for the winter because it just looks so badass over there when it snows. And I was like, I
Yeah.
really
Hmm.
enjoy the way it looks over there when it snows. It's just like everything you see like in postcards is in real life in front of you. I love
I
that
think
shit.
there's also there's so many small cultural identities within Europe, within countries, within sections of countries that are strong without being isolationist. So they're happy to be German, they're happy to be European, but like they're it's Hamburg. Hamburg's got a thing. People from Hamburg are cool and they do this, and you can say the same thing about like North London and South London. And everybody's, there's a little bit of like, poke and tickle, like, oh, our soccer team's better, blah, blah, blah. But like, there's just a very strong culture, with the exception, obviously, of the Basque country in Spain. But there's a lot of appreciation, I think, for the global.
You were saying about the shows, being there's no segregation, basically all ages is all ages. You have
Hmm.
whether they're alcohol or not. I say this a lot sometimes, and I ask people this. When you tour in Europe, it's like they do appreciate.
Hmm.
Not saying we don't appreciate it, but you can have a band go on tour to Europe 3 different times in a year, and every one of those shows will do just as good as the last show. But here in the States, I feel like
Hmm.
people we pick or choose. Like, oh, I'll catch them next time. They'll be back later this year. Like we won't go to every single, people don't go to every single show that those bands come through. But
Hmm.
Europe, it's like you can have Terror play 4 fucking times in Europe, and they'll hit Stuttgart 4 different times, and that on those different tours, and there'll still be just as many people that there were at the show at the beginning of
Hmm.
the year. You know, I
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
I think people are sometimes just ravenous about music.
Yeah,
Um, and you know, and the States is fine and all, but it's so spread out too. You know, I mean, like
yeah,
especially when you get to the West Coast, it's like, you know, you
yeah.
can play, what do you play, Salt Lake, and then you drive forever to Boise, and then you drive forever to Seattle, and then you drive to, oh, that's a quick one to Portland, and forever to like, you know, San Francisco and LA, and it's just like, oh, it's just such a slog. Um, and then there's also so many demands on your time, right? You know, like demands on people's entertainment. You know, people just stay home and watch TV, man. You got to catch up on White Lotus.
Right. Yeah.
You know, don't go
It's
see
like, oh
Parasite. You got to
man,
go see White Lotus.
yeah,
I
my
I will
favorite
say this.
band's playing, but they're playing on a Wednesday, and I've got to work
Yeah,
tomorrow. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
man.
suck it up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Every
it's also,
show
you know,
for every.
you see like in Germany in particular, you know, obviously you guys have some experience there. Like the the music and the arts is subsidized by the government. So the local government, you know, says, okay, well, instead of having our kids on the streets, giving them a venue and like a skate ramp and like a
Mm,
vegan cafe is a good thing. And maybe we don't understand all the tattoos and the graffiti and the music, but this is a good thing. And so you can have a show that's like $5 for everybody. And you
uh,
can get paid really well. They'll put you up into a hotel. They'll feed you dinner. They make you get breakfast the next morning, you know. And from the point of view of like a rock musician, to be treated as a quote unquote artist in residence for you know that night is incredible. You know, because normally you
Y-
just treat it like dirt. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like touring the states, you're showing up like on a Thursday night, and it's like, oh man, I hope somebody comes out because we got to see if we
Yeah.
can fucking sleep on somebody's floor.
Hmm.
But in Germany or the UK, you're playing a venue that already has like a bunkhouse attached to it. It's
Yep.
either,
Hmm.
right next door to it or it's above the venue. And yeah, like you said about like you show up, you unload your gear and they've got food. Yeah, or, yeah, we're gonna eat dinner, right before doors.
Hmm.
And then the next morning, yeah, it might not be like a huge spread, but I mean, you would still have, bagels or, like just Nutella and coffee and
Hmm.
juices and yeah, yeah, fruit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and just to be treated
yeah.
like that was pretty special. You know, that's
yeah,
like, wow.
100%. Yeah, yeah. And
You,
the
you,
we didn't have to drive either. We had like, somebody
oh,
that, drove us,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
was even cooler. Yeah.
so do you always have a driver when you tour Europe? Is there always somebody driving you?
Yeah. Um, we've I'd done it. I played a show once. The other bands were in buses and we were in a car, and I think the gentleman who was driving us had to go back and take his like final exam for college or something. And so there's this one night, and we just found out like 2 hours before we had to do it. We had to rent a car in uh let's say it was Sheffield maybe, and drive to Glasgow, which is about, 9 hours or so. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to drive on the other side of the road and
Oh,
on the other side of the
fuck.
car.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
You know, so you learn how to do it, and you have a few we almost died moments, and then you get to where you're supposed to be, and that's called a life experience, and that's why you look at your friends and you're like, we're tight because we almost died several times.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
probably the
that's
quietest. It was the quietest drive too, because everyone's like, "Oh fuck," you know. It's
This
like,
is how it ends. This is how it
yeah,
ends.
yeah.
you're all white knuckled and
Oh, totally,
probably a
man.
stick shift and
Yep, and I'm just figuring out and then the idea like all the roundabouts, and I'm like, okay, shit, roundabouts, so, or like
oh
rotaries, like,
yeah,
and just kind of being like, and then you get into it. Like by the time, there was like 3 hours left in the drive, I was like, I can do this now. I got it,
yeah,
But there was
yeah,
definitely that learning curve. It was kind of a baptism by fire. Like you gotta learn this now. Um,
yeah.
So
You're in the roundabout, and
so
you're
it
like,
sucks
"Look,
that you're really
kids,
hungover. Yeah, I'm sorry you're
look,
really
kids,
hungover, but you're gonna have to deal with it.
Big Ben,
Oh yeah, Big
Parliament,
Ben.
Big Ben, Parliament.
Exactly.
Why won't they let me over? I just got to get over."
You got to get used to it, man. It's a totally different animal.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
we got a roundabout last year here in the city I live in,
Oh,
and I must tell you
Yep.
what, it shut the whole city down. Like it was the talk of the town. Like all the little local, there were people that were trying to see who can go around the roundabout the most amount of times
Oh,
because
Jesus.
the city had a camera
Damn.
that faced on the roundabout. So people, all you would see, and it sucked because there's a bunch of apartments that were already there before the roundabout was. So now you got these people at nighttime just driving in circles, and all your windows get hit with headlights all night long. You had bands playing in the middle of it, just in front of the traffic, just for the fun. You had people barbecuing in the middle of it. Like it's so bad that our roundabout got a name.
Do you live in the town of like Gummo? Like where the hell do you live, man?
Oh, dude, we have to research that and see if Harmony ever went up to
Yeah.
Clarksville, and that's where he took his
sounds
notes
bleak.
for Gummo,
dude.
man.
It got her name was her name was Rhonda the Roundabout,
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and somebody posted
Oh
online
man.
a horrible tattoo of the roundabout on their arm. And
God.
I was just like, wow. And like, I'm not lying. Like for like 3 weeks, there was people up there all the time. People, like I said, food truck, people barbecuing, giving out food. It was like a damn party out there. People were DJing out there. I'm like, guys, the roundabout. What? It's not. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
That's so funny,
Wow.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I'm from the
Like-
town of Gummo. No, where Gummo was filmed. But no. The last
Like,
part.
Eric-
Here's the last thing. Here's the last thing. In this, we also have a guardrail. It's on a curve that gets hit all the time by big semi trucks, and he has his own Facebook page. His name is Gary the Guardrail, and he's famous. Yeah, so that's just the stuff that we put up with here in Clarksville.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Do people huff a lot of things there?
We're not that far in the mountains, but yeah.
What are you doing? I'm just taking the freon out of my AC unit to huff
Yeah,
it 'cause I'm
man.
bored.
Oh
Take
man.
my
Alright,
catalytic
well,
converters
oh,
and
man.
shit. But no,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out of my way to avoid your hometown.
Yeah, yeah.
actually, no,
yeah.
it's not my hometown. It's
No?
where I live. No,
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
but
yeah.
no, it's
yeah.
it's not that bad. We had
I'm
some
just
cool
joking. I'm
things
just
happen
joking,
here.
man.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you're being right. No, Shell Crow shot her video here for
Oh,
all
yeah.
I wanna do is have some
Oh, yeah, yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
She
that
shot
was at the
here in
Roxy.
Clarksville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Franklin Street,
had
right?
Worcester had some claims to fame. It was like it's where the birth control pill was invented.
Oh,
nice.
shit.
It's where the happy face. Well, when I was a kid, it was like the most and the cheapest heroin per capita of any major city, and the most mentally ill, but not just the most mentally ill, the most mentally ill that should be institutionalized that were walking the streets. So when I was a
Wow.
kid, I just thought like it was normal that like I thought every street corner had somebody that never crossed the street that just kind of stood there and danced a little bit. I thought every pizza parlor had like somebody that just twirled their hair in the corner and never ordered pizza. I thought that was just like that's just the world, right?
That's
Life.
Yeah, and I come to find
Yeah.
out it's like, oh no, all these people need help. And, I just didn't realize that. Like when I was a kid, that was just like the
Yeah.
background of everything.
That's wild.
And
so
it
it's
was
kind of
true.
like Clarksville. No, I'm kidding.
Apparently.
Hey.
That old big to do at the roundabout.
Yeah, and we were told by the monkeys that the last train to Clarksville was not about Clarksville, Tennessee. So,
Oh,
What Clarksville was it?
gold.
Well, I wherever there's a Springfield nearby, but that's why I thought it was our Clarksville because we got a Springfield, but it's not.
It must
believe
be
maybe-
Illinois.
That's what I was. Yeah, I think that's the one. But yeah,
Okay.
it's not Clarksville, Tennessee. Darn. I mean, with the new
Getting at
one of
it.
the new Nicole Kidman filmed a movie here 2 years ago. It's on Amazon
Yeah.
Prime.
Nice,
Cool.
nice.
I like her.
Yeah,
She's cool.
Yeah,
I
she was.
think.
Yeah,
I've
Yeah.
got about 5 more minutes before I need to get my kids to bed. So I'm happy to keep talking up until then, but then I gotta run. Unfortunately, I apologize.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
No
Hey,
worries, no worries.
well, Eric, you got some rapid round questions?
Yeah. Let's do some no wrong answers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
All right. What band can you go see and wear like a concert? What band can you go see and wear their t-shirt?
So what band can I go see and wear their T-shirt?
Yeah. Like wear their
Depeche
t-shirt.
Mode.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which
Nice.
one?
All right. Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's Maiden.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be Maiden too.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Depeche
Cool.
Mode is on my bucket list of bands to see.
Yeah.
Because they would be amazing. And I've
Agreed.
seen the Cure twice, and that was magical.
Yeah.
But Depeche
Mhm.
Mode, Duran is one I wanted to see, and I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
And then I guess they're calling it quits or touring or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, that sucks.
All right, I got a couple more.
Okay, hit me.
120 minutes or Headbangers Ball?
120 minutes for sure.
Nice. All right, favorite host of 120?
Ooh, good one.
Who is the guy before Dave Kendall?
Oh shit. If you wouldn't have asked me that. Yeah.
I
It was.
remember.
Oh, what the hell's his name? He looked like. No, I'm thinking of the original host of Headbangers Ball. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're
Yeah,
thinking that.
Dave Kendall probably would have been the one I would associate with it most.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. But Matt
then there was the
Pinfield was
guy-
fucking great.
Oh, Pinfield's a fucking. He's a force, man. That guy's.
Yeah.
nuts.
He's a saint.
It's funny because I didn't associate him with 120 minutes.
Okay,
But yeah,
nice.
that makes perfect sense, of course.
Yeah. Dave Kendall, though, I mean, I think for all of us, I mean, in 120's heyday, definitely. Count Chocula or Frankenberry?
Ooh.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
All
gonna.
right, nice.
I was gonna go with Coke. I was gonna go with what's the Cocoa Pebbles? Yeah, never mind. You just said that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Pebbles.
Nah,
That's what I would
dude.
go with.
Living in Buffalo, we like the home of General Mills. They just released all the Monster cereals in Wegmans, so I went to the store and got myself a box of Count Chocula. All right, and my last one, going back to like the Headbangers Ball, you know, MTV, favorite 80s hair metal / metal band.
There you go.
Oof. I really detested a lot of that stuff. That's gonna be a hard. I'm gonna say Bon Jovi. You know
Okay.
why?
Alright.
Because even though they were never cool, like I don't know, Motley Crue or whatever,
Yeah.
they weren't total.
Uh-oh.
The thing about the glam metal stuff, it was like it took this thing that was so cool, like
Right.
the New York Dolls and Bowie and T-Rex and this whole like androgyny, and they just injected it with like hyper toxic masculinity, and it was just like, yeah, dudes, and I'm like, ugh, I'm like, you're the same
Yeah.
dude that would just shove me against a wall and you know, back in high school, so no, fuck them.
Yeah.
So there's my
Right.
Alright.
I can't believe I'm still upset about an answer.
Sorry for bringing up old shit, man. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's my thing. I should let it go.
Yeah, no, you're good. I mean, I was made fun of for wearing a Dead Milkman t-shirt by somebody wearing a Def Leppard t-shirt. And I'm like, you're making fun of me for wearing a Big Lizard in my backyard shirt, and you're wearing a Hysteria shirt. All right, come on. Let's think about that, dude. You know.
You're right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And they both can be played at the strip club, so you're good to go. So
Did they play the Dead Milkmen at strip clubs now? That's awesome.
yeah,
If they did, I never went to that one when we were on the road. I would have loved to,
Arrow.
like, yeah, bust in and hear Big Lizard in
came
my
out to Bitchin'
backyard.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. The laundromat song, you know, and
Yeah.
fellas, welcome to the stage, Desiree, bitchin' Camaro. She's spinning on the pole, man. That's amazing.
I will often say, not often, but I will regularly say, like, I'd like to help you right now, but I'm all fucked up on cough medicine. And
Nice.
and it's
Somebody
very,
kick my
very
dog
rare
Navis.
Anybody, yeah, it's very rare if somebody picks that up, and I'm always like, if somebody does, I'm like, yeah, man, right on.
Nah, dude. Yeah, we're best friends. Yeah, me and my brothers, we still we'll send a group text, like, and just it'll be like a line from a Dead Milkman song, and
Fantastic.
you wait a few minutes and you get the second line. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
I believe in
that's
Happy
great.
Days, and then I believe in Joni Loves Crotchy. You know, and then hey boys, let's swordfish. Bam. Yes, fucking amazing. Yeah,
That's cool, man. That's really cool.
Wow.
yeah.
All right, well,
Well,
guys,
Joe,
thank you so much.
yeah, go ahead
I,
and plug your spot. Tell where everyone can find you on the interweb.
Oh, so Her Head's on Fire Band at Instagram, or just search Her Head's on Fire on all those places that stream music, because music's free. Everybody listens to music for free, unless you like records, and I like records, and then you can buy our records from Iodine Records, or this new thing we have out on Sell the Heart, which is a 7-band compilation and or split, depending on how you want to use that term. Yeah, thanks, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I honestly could talk for the next like
You're
5
good,
hours,
brother.
but I do have to put kids to bed.
Yeah, no worries,
You're
man.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
All right,
guys.
buddy. Later, man.
Bye bye.
All right, have a
Peace.
good night.